Alright, hey guys and welcome back to another video. I am the Twisted Jedi and today's video is going to be leading off of yesterday's video where I ranked all 9 heroes for Galactic Assault from worst to best. So obviously I had to come back today and do all 9 villains ranked from worst to best to help you guys out with maybe some good kill streaks in Galactic Assault. Now keep in mind this video is going to be my opinion and it is only my opinion on how I play with the heroes. I got a lot of comments in yesterday's video saying, oh, this person should be higher or this person should be lower, just because that was that person's opinion. But this is my opinion, so feel free to share yours down in the comments below and not worry about other people's lists, because you play a certain way and your style is at one certain way to another person's and it could be different. I personally have a lot of success with some heroes that some other people don't, and vice versa. So make sure you guys drop your list down below and let us know how you guys go with all of the heroes. Before I get started, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because we are so close to 6K subscribers. The support for the channel has been amazing lately, so thank you guys all so much for that. Anyways, getting started, number 9 is obviously going to be Captain Phasma. Captain Phasma is pretty terrible in GA in my opinion. Her staff strikes are extremely useless. Do not bother even trying to kill anyone with those. The survivor ability is probably one of the best things about Phasma's loadout for GA. Getting that boost of health can definitely help, and the first order sentry droid can help when people are trying to sneak up behind you, but other than that, in Galactic Assault, it's not really worth using all that much. I think the problem with Phasma as well is her health on kill card is from her staff strikes. So the problem there, you take the most useless ability in the game, in my opinion, 100% most useless ability, and you put a health on kill card based around that ability. That's just a recipe for disaster, so Phasma is definitely deserving of ranking number 9. Getting into number 8 is Kylo Ren, and I do personally enjoy playing Kylo, but I find it very frustrating at the same time. His abilities are cool, but I just don't think they're great in Galactic Assault. The force pull that we all know, it can be really cool to draw enemies that are a bit further away, but there's nothing more frustrating than not having that reach your enemy and not having it pull them over. The frenzy ability does have a lock on, which is pretty cool, but once you're locked in, you can't cancel it. That's it. You're locked into that ability. That leaves you extremely vulnerable, especially if you have the wrong star card set up. It can get you killed extremely quickly, and Kylo is a bit of a glass cannon because if he gets hit, it's game over. He takes damage very quickly and it's very hard to get it back as well. The freeze ability can be good to escape enemies, but that's pretty much what it's mainly used for. If a lightsaber hero comes up on you, you can get a sneaky freeze and escape, but that's pretty much all you're going to end up using it as. So I think Kylo is definitely deserving of number 8. Coming in at number 7 is my boy Boba Fett. Now, Boba is a very tricky one. He's low on this list, but he's one of my favorite heroes to play. I use him a lot in streams. You guys that watch the streams will know I use Boba a ton because I'm really practiced with him and I do enjoy playing him. I can get between 40 and 45 kills with Boba in a round of Galactic Assault if I have a good run, but it just depends on the player. I know me, a lot of the time I'll either get 40 kills or I'll get like 3. So because of Boba's lack of health, he is definitely not great for Galactic Assault. It can be tricky. Make sure you practice with his blaster. The key there is to know how to aim while flying. The concussion rocket, again, essentially useless. For the hunt is great for spotting out enemies, and the rocket barrage, well, we all know how good that can be. Coming in at number 6 is going to be Iden Versio. Now, Iden and Boba, I was tossing up. I think I probably should have put Boba at 6 and Iden at 7, thinking of it now, because I just struggle with her a lot. She's very low HP, so she can die pretty quickly. Her abilities aren't the best. The stun droid gives her health back, which is good because I do use the stun a lot. The pulse cannon is the problem. That thing is useless. Do not use it. I mean, you can use it on long range maps, sure, but there's no point. If you're going to be using a hero, run up ahead and clear the way for your team. You don't want to be sat at the back camping with a pulse cannon that barely does any damage anyway. The pulse cannon in 2015 was so much better than the one in Battlefront 2. I don't know why they didn't keep a similar mechanic for this, but I guess they had to make some sort of changes. Her droid shield is pretty much what it's there for. Protection if you're getting fired at from a wall of enemies. It's going to get you out of trouble, but other than that, it's pretty much it. Coming in at number 5 is Emperor Palpatine. Now for me, I know this is lower than it would be on most people's lists, but for me, I just struggle using him a lot in Galactic Assault. well. The Dark Aura is cool, but you have to be really close quarters for enemies for it to actually hit, unless you have star cards on that will extend its range. The Chain Lightning is the main ability you want to be using with him, as well as his standard lightning. This can be really effective. I've seen some people with some nasty kill streaks with Palpatine, but I just can't seem to get the hang of him. The jumping is always an issue for me, and coming up against it as well is super annoying. His electrocute ability is pretty much useless in GA. I don't bother using it at all, unless I'm behind an enemy and can stun them from there, or I'm trying to escape from another hero. Number 4 is the latest villain to be added to the game, and that is General Grievous. Grievous's damage output is ridiculously high, and it leads to a lot of one-hit kills on regular infantry, so it makes him very effective in Galactic Assault. The Thrust Surge had a lot of issues when he came out, but now that it's sort of been fixed, it can be very deadly. The only problem with using Thrust Surge though is it takes a couple of seconds after using it before you can follow up with your regular swing. The fact that Thrust Surge doesn't kill an enemy on one hit and you have to follow it up with a second hit, that 3 or 4 seconds delay before you can swing again does leave you very vulnerable. Unrelenting Advance works better now than it did when it released, but it's still pretty much useless in GA. The only thing it's good for is in HVV when you have lightsaber swing spammers. The Claw Rush is his best ability, and that's the one you want to be using the most, as well as just his regular lightsaber swings. These two in combination can be extremely lethal, and that's how you should be playing him. Claw Rush can help you get into an objective and attack enemies, and it can also help you run away if you need to. But with General Grievous, the focus should always be just using his regular lightsabers because of the amount of crazy damage he does. And if you guys get the chance, swing from behind an enemy, it takes him out in one hit. It's so much easier. Coming in at number 3, and this might surprise a few of you, number 3 I'm going to give to Darth Vader. Now Darth Vader, yes, he's a beast. He's really good in GA, but purely for the fact that he is very slow is why I've given him the number 3 ranking. His lightsaber throw does an insane amount of damage. It's really good in hallways like heading into the palace on Naboo and the Death Star and all those other close quarters maps. It can be extremely effective. Focused Rage, yes, bonus health, bonus damage, all that good stuff. Great ability for Vader, but the choke is where it's being let down. Currently, Vader's Force Choke is broken and it does get stuck in the animation quite often. I know Guillaume has just announced that it will be fixed in the next update, but then again, it was supposed to be fixed months ago and it's still having issues. So hopefully after this next update, it will be fixed indefinitely and we won't have to worry too much about the choke animation being stuck. Vader gets number 3 on this list purely because I can get a decent amount of kills with him and he's always satisfying to use. There's nothing better than getting a nice lightsaber throw and slashing down 4 or 5 enemies in one shot. Coming in at number 2 is Bossk, and Bossk is probably one of the best heroes in the entire game at locking down objectives and racking up kills and assists at the same time. If you ever see someone with a massive kill feed or a massive amount of kills and eliminations on the board, they're either Paul John or they're using Bossk. Now that's no disrespect to Paul John, he's an absolute animal with any hero, but if you look at Bossk, his eliminations are always the biggest thing in a game of GA. People rack him up with Bossk because of his gas. The area of effect on that ability will damage so many enemies. You can use 2 star cards that boost the effects of the gas, and obviously his mines are going to be the biggest way to get easy kills. Placing those proximity mines near objectives or doorways that you know the enemy is going to run through is a kill feed waiting to happen. That in combination with his predator instincts, which again, explosive damage, causes a ton of assists and kills, giving him a massive advantage on the scoreboard. I think Bossk is definitely deserving of number 2. I know a lot of you might not agree, but if you get Bossk in the right hands, he is an absolute machine. Now that leads us to number 1, and yes, you guys guessed it, it is my boy Darth Maul. Now you may think I'm a little bit prejudiced because he is my favorite character and that my whole channel is based around him. All the artwork has Darth Maul on it, but it's not the case. He is the best villain in Galactic Assault in my opinion, hands down. I don't bother using the Furious Throw because half the time it doesn't connect. I stay right away from that ability because that's what gets you killed. The Chokehold though is great for throwing enemies away. Once they've been hit with that, it's a one swing follow-up, which you can close the distance by using his spin attack. He has so many different options for combinations that it can be really lethal in Galactic Assault. This spin attack especially is a good one to combine with other things. If you use one regular hit on an infantry and then spin, it'll kill them and get you out of the way and keep you moving so that you can avoid fire from any other infantry that might be around. The other combination I was talking about before was a chokehold into a spin. This can close the distance after throwing an enemy away and lead to an easy kill as well. I think Darth Maul is number one on a fair few players' lists. It's probably not just me, so if Darth Maul is your number one ranking as well, let me know down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you agree partially at least with some of my rankings. I know yesterday's video on the heroes had a lot of different lists on there, which is awesome to see. I would love to see the same thing in this video as well. And if you haven't watched yesterday's already, go check out my rankings for all of the 9 heroes that are in the game. I'm looking at doing this video for heroes versus villains as well, so if that is something you would want to see, definitely hit the like button down below and I will work on those sometime in the near future. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you again, and may the Force be with you always.
The Sith are